This is my pond behind me here. It looks pretty good, right? Well, let me take you back a month.
About a year ago, I dug this pond. It got a leak and it was destroyed for months, hence the state it's in now. And I couldn't stand the sight of it anymore. It was one of those jobs I'd just put to the side for a long time, until now. So I made a start by going to get a new liner.
So I'm here at the fish shop today, surprisingly not getting fish, I'm getting pond liner. This is the good stuff I'll need to fix my pond up. It's proper thick, it's almost rubbery, so I'll get a lot of this. Got the measurements I need here, 5.9 length, 4.4 width and 1.2 depth, so that's quite a large liner. So I'll buy this thing now. The liner's getting hooked up now, but I'm just having a look at the plants for the ponds for when I do eventually get some. There's a wide selection here and they're all pretty good prices, so when I eventually do get plants and fish for this pond, I'll be coming here and getting loads. Anyway, back to cutting the liner.
I went over to buy the liner, but a slight problem occurred.
So you may be wondering why I've not got the liner with me. Well, that's because it was way too expensive. I went in thinking it was about £68, which I don't mind paying for the liner because I need one. And it ended up coming to £600, let's just put it that way. So instead what I did on the way home from the shop, I went online and I bought a liner for about 200 quid online, which ain't bad considering the pond, it's massive and apparently the liner comes for 600 quid usually. So meanwhile, while I've got about a day to wait for the liner to come, I'm going to get started on the pond. Now the state it's in at the moment, you would think there's no fish in it, but surprisingly there is a few fish left. There's loads of little sticklebacks. And there's a few of these really small catfish looking things. I'm not really sure what they are, but they look like catfish. So I bought my big fish in now. I've landed many carp in this thing, but today I'm going to land some sticklebacks in it. Not only that, but the net's going to help me clean out all of the murk off the bottom. There we go, I've done one scoop, and look at how many sticklebacks are in there. There's about loads. Wow, I mean, even I'm mind blown of how many sticklebacks is in that one scoop. There's got to be at least 50 or 60 of the things in here, because they bred rapidly, and originally we put about 20 in, so there's loads. And then all I'm doing is I'm putting them in this bucket. As you can see, there's loads in there. So you know how I said there's catfish looking things in here? There is one of them right here somewhere. He's just, I don't want to touch him because they've got spines up, but there's one of them. Here we go, I've got one of them little catfish things here. I don't want to put it in my hand because as you can see, he's got spines and they're going to poke me. But there is one of them, and I told you there was some in here. I'm not sure what they are, but let's pop him in there and he can swim off.
So I continued to net, and net, and net again, and again.
I'm not even going to lie, this is about my 80th cast with the net, and I've pulled up at least one fish every single time, and on this case I've had about 8. So I just did about my 100th net, and I've just whipped something out that I was very unexpected, and it scared the life out of me when I tipped the net out. I've put him back in there now. It's a little frog. If you look down there, you can see a frog. So I don't know what to do with him. I'm going to have to let him out. Just pop him on the floor there, and off he goes. Go on, frog. Another unexpected pull. I've just pulled out the pond monster, and he's only small, but what on earth is that? It's not a minnow, and he's very slimy. Could be a little Wells catfish. I know, I'm just saying stuff at the moment, but it looks like a really small one. Please tell me what you think about this then, guys. I'm not sure what it is, but it looks like a little Wells catfish, so I'll pop it in there. Whoa, look at that stickleback. I've never seen a stickleback so big in my life. Let's pick him up. I'll pick them up by their tails because they've got spines all over the body, and when they sting you, it's a bit painful. But look at him. He's a whopping stickleback compared to the others. If I pop him in there, you might see them swim off, and he's so big. Well, thank God that's over with. I've pretty much got every single fish out there now, and frogs. It turns out there was about 20 frogs in there that I had to pull out, and it was insane. They kept scaring me. They'd jump at me out the net, and I was just shocked that there was frogs in there. But now, it's about time I get emptying this thing. I've got another big purple bucket in there, and yes, I've got to empty it by hand because I've got no pump and there's no electricity up here. So, let's get to work. It took me about an hour, but look at that, it's finally empty. You can see the true size of this pond now. It's actually pretty massive. I figured it out earlier. I put the measurements of the pond into some calculator online, and it said it was about 4,000 gallons. And 4,000 gallons is a heck of a lot of water. But now that the pond is all drained and emptied, it's time to clean it out slightly. And what I mean by that is I'll just get the sweeping brush, sweep all of the excess water to one side, scoop the rest of that out, and then all this mud you see on the tarp right now, I'll get all the mud out. And the only reason that I'm sweeping it all out and just cleaning the excess liner that I've got in here is because we're not actually taking this liner out. We're going to keep this one in here, and the liner that I've ordered, that will be coming tomorrow, will be going over the top of this one. But I have also ordered an underlinement, so what will go on top of this is the underlinement and then the new liner. So there'll be 2 layers in between this old liner, and I'm only leaving it in just so I have no chances of any leaks, because when this pond's done I'm going to be getting some beasts for it, and I don't want this pond leaking. At last, I'm absolutely shattered, but look, I've finally got it cleaned out. It may not look very clean because it is very muddy still, to be fair, and it don't look that clean to me, so I don't know why it should look clean to you, but trust me, it is a lot cleaner. I've got all the mud out, all the water out, So by the morning when this new liner comes, I'll be able to put it straight in. But here you go, here is the pond all drained out, and it looks absolutely massive, absolutely incredible. Beautiful piece of work this is. So hopefully this time tomorrow, I'll be cannonballing into the pond off of this little ledge here. And of course I'll be able to cannonball into it because it's about 2.5 meters deep, I reckon. So stay tuned till the end if you want to see this thing full to the brim with the new liner in. With that all said, I'll see you when I'm here tomorrow. Right then, 1 week later after next day delivery, the liner's finally arrived. And I'll tell you what, that box is heavy as anything. I've just had to carry it all the way up this field on my shoulder. But it'll be worth it. Just want to do a little bit more prep to the pond at its current state before we end up putting the actual new liner in, because I don't want it to get any piercings. As you can see, it's fully drained, fully dry now. It's a bit muddy, but that really doesn't matter. All I've got to do is take all of the leaves out, any potential rocks that may pierce the new liner, and then we're sorted. Because the liner in this box has also come with some underlinements. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the underlinement over the top of this liner here. Right then, so the pond is all clear. I've took all the pebbles, all the leaves, all the muck out. So there's definitely going to be no piercings in this new liner. And we've just unravelled this underlinement, and it is absolutely massive. They've sent us about 20 metres of the stuff. A lot more than actually needed. But we're just going to have to make do, cut it in half into bits and bobs. And there's some more in the box as well, so we've got plenty. Boom, underlinement is in. It's looking absolutely wicked. I think it makes the pond look a bit bigger, but that's just going to prevent any leaks, so we should be good. And look at that, we've still got 2 sheets excess. Now it's time to get this liner in. Look at that bad boy sat at the very bottom of the box. It's heavy, but we'll make it happen. Size 8 metres by 10 metres. That's way more than we need, so that is perfect. Let's get it unravelled and see what we've got to play with then. Look at that, I've unravelled that thinking it was the liner, and no, the actual liner is in there. Look at how big that is. You can tell it's massive. Look at how big this liner is. I'm absolutely gobsmacked by it. That's more than enough we need for the pond, so we could even do a pond part 2, dig a completely different one and use the excess liner. Yeah, he agrees. But yeah, it fills a good quarter, no, not a good quarter of the field, but it looks like a quarter of the field from here. So what we're going to do now, I reckon, is just put the hose pipe in, the 100 metre hose pipe we've got, that runs from all the way down there to up here. We'll fill the pond up and see what excess we've got, cut that off, and then maybe make another pond. I doubt we will, but like that's a possibility. So I've just been in without my shoes on just because I don't want to pierce it, and I've stomped down all the edges and the corners of the pond, and that's what we're looking like with all this excess. So we're going to go grab the hose now and fill it up, start the like 10-hour process of filling it up. Here we go, then here is the 100 metre long hose. Let's get this thing dragged up the field. 3, 2, 1. On we go, and the pond is filling. Let's get back up there now and see how full it is after 1 second. As you can see, the hose pipe is on now, and it's got like 10, not even 10 litres of water in. It's like a litre of water in, and this thing is 4,000 to 5,000 gallons along the line of that. So it's going to take a long time to fill. So we'll leave that pond running now for the next 15 hours, and I'll come back up in about an hour and check on it. It's been about an hour and a half since we started filling it, and this is what it's looking like. Looks like nothing on camera, but that's about 4, 5, maybe 6 inches deep. That's filling up pretty fast for the first hour and a half. But I can vividly remember when we did this pond the first time round and filled it to the brim. It took about 2 to 3 hours for the first little margin bit to fill up, and then it took about 5 to 6 hours for the rest of it to fill up because it's so much wider and bigger. But meanwhile, while we're waiting for that to fill up, what I've got here is some temporary fencing. Now we've got this stuff to keep the dogs out the pond because I don't want to get it pierced, and they probably pierced it before. So what I've done, gone and bought this from the shop just. Got some stakes here. We're going to put it all around the pond and just block it off from the dogs. So we've now completely staked out the markings where the fence will go. And now all that's left to do is cut this and wrap it around it. In the near future, next few months, I'm going to be building a wooden fence around this, but this is just temporary, obviously. The temporary fence is all up now. All the way around. I'm just going to do a run up, and it's actually looking pretty cool. And there it is at the end. Just spent about 10 minutes doing that. Didn't take long at all, and it looks, it blends in with the grass. It looks amazing. All that's left to do now is leave this thing to fill. We've just got to let water do its work. I'll see you back here again when it's almost full. So it's about 6:30 in the evening. It's just before sun's actually set, and it's just going dark now. But this is what the pond's looking like. It's gone onto the second level now, which is absolutely great. It's filling up pretty fast. It took about 6 hours for it to get to this state, which isn't too bad if you ask me, considering it's 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 gallons. I completely forget what I say, but it's quite big. We'll leave this tap running overnight, and get it full to the brim. Once it's full to the brim, we'll be able to tidy it up, cut the excess liner off, do all the last finishing touches and all that. I'll put the torch on it. I don't know if that brightens it up anymore, but if you can get a gist, that's what it's like. So I'm back up here at the pond now, and it's been about 4 days since we turned the tap on. You may be wondering why the thing's drained, and to be honest, so am I. But I've came up with a theory as to why it's happened. Basically, when I came up here, that end of the liner had proper tipped into the middle, and it had left a gap for all of the water that was in there to drain out into the soil underneath the pond. So fingers crossed my theory is correct and that we don't have a leak. Because I've searched the whole liner for any piercings and there's none at all. So it more than likely is that. That was the bad news of today. There's some good news though. I've got a bunch of plants to go around the pond. I've got some taller bushy ones like that. That's a proper pond plant, that is. So I'll dig a few holes for these plants and bury them. It's just before sunset, as you can see. It's going really dark and the sun's setting behind me. Beautiful sunset. But I'm just going to get these dug and planted really quickly off camera, and I'll show you them straight afterwards. So here's what we've got so far. I've just planted the 2 bigger ones and 3 of the smaller ones, and it looks atrocious on camera, but they're actually looking really nice at that corner. You can't see it too well because it's really proper dark on camera, but tomorrow when I come down, when the pond's all full up, I'll show you them properly then. And there we go. I've just planted the rest of the plants here. Doesn't look the greatest at the moment, as you can see, but it's good. When they all start to grow out and become bushier, they'll be a lot nicer. Same with these ones here. They already look really nice where they are. And of course, that's not all the plants I'm be getting. There's a full entire area in the middle there to fill. So there's plenty more plants to come. For now, I'm going to put the camera down and I'll see you when this pond is full up to the brim. Good night for now. I'll see you tomorrow. Back at it, it's finally full. Thank God it wasn't actually a leak, but it looks so cool full to the brim. Right then, now that I've just jumped in this thing and I'm absolutely froze to the bone, I'm going to let the fish back in. Did not once think that I was going to jump in the pond today, but I remembered I said earlier on in the video, I'm going to jump in when it's full. So I'm a man of my word and I stuck to it. But yeah, I'm froze now. So let's get these sticklebacks back in. Been in the bucket here for about a week, so I'm sure they're going to be pleased to be back in their big home. It's actually full to the brim now, whereas at the start it was only the first lip, so on they go. I'm pouring the dirty water back in as well because it's only a little bit. It won't do no harm. It's good for the fish if anything. You can just see all the little sticklebacks darting around on the bottom. They're actually really, really cool because it's so clear the pond is now. Obviously that bit of murk's there, but that'll die off shortly. And the fish are back in, enjoying their home now. I just find it absolutely ridiculous how big this thing is. It doesn't look big on camera. Well, I mean, it does look big on camera, but it's way bigger in person. Here it is from the top, and again, it looks so small. But it's like, it's about 1 metre and 1.5 metres deep, that's what it is. If it's deep enough for me to cannonball in, I'm sure it's deep enough for some monster fish. I'm going to leave the pond for this evening though and come straight back here in the morning because I've got one more thing for this pond that I want you guys to see. So I'll see you in the morning. It's now the final day of this pond adventure. I say that because today I'm going to get the pond finalised. The excess liner you will no longer see. I've got the scissors here, I'm going to snip that really quick. There we go, just like that, the excess liner here has been cut off and it looks really, really good. I'll go ahead round this other side now and cut off that bit of excess liner. And then what I'll do after that is I'll bury the sides into the ground so it blends in and it looks like the pond's completely natural. There we go, then the pond excess is all snipped apart from that corner there, which I'll do in a moment off camera. But it's looking incredible. Now the final step of this pond is to get a filter in it. And if you look in that box right there, I've got myself a good old filter. Now put it this way, this filter was not cheap, but it's definitely worth it. It's a solar powered pump filter. And it's gonna do great for this pond because that means we can get some better fish such as koi. So I'm gonna fathom out how to set that thing up and put it in this pond. This is what we're working with. We've got a massive solar panel, the battery pack which hooks up to the actual filter itself. Now there's a filter pump inside of that. It's got all the biobacteria and all that, and then this is a fountain which pumps water out, which keeps the water oxygenated. I'll show you inside the thing right now. So when you take off the top panels, this is what you're left with. There's a filter sponge there and another one there, so it's doubled up. And then underneath that, the pump's in there, the biobacteria, and 2 more filter sponges. You may be able to see that those 3 lights come flashing on and off. That means that the solar is charging the sun into the battery, and it's charging that and making this work. So let's test this thing out, hopefully it works. Here we go, the thing's doing its magic and it works absolutely great. Second module, I think I like this one a lot better. Here's one of the many sticklebacks we put in. He's proper chill. You just sit down, another one's come up. They just come to your finger, they're proper trained. Friendly sticklebacks. So for the past hour and a half we've been digging out the outside and like overlapping here, as you can see. We've made it look a lot neater all the way around until that point, which we're going to peg that into the wall. But all up here and all across the pond now, it looks very neat. Well, there we go then. The pond is absolutely fully complete. We've got all the edges tucked in. All of that is pinned into the wall there, so it looks neater over there. You can't really tell on camera. Actually, try and go over there. And you can tell, yeah. And obviously the pond is full up and the sticklebacks are back in. Filter and pump is set up. And there's a few plants on the outside. What a long few weeks this has been. It's about a year in the making, this is. And it's finally complete. And in the next episode, we'll be getting fish for it. And with that all said and done, that's this episode come to an end. The pond is finally complete and it looks absolutely great. Now that we're at the end of the video, do me a favour and like this video, subscribe to my channel and turn on the notifications so you don't miss my other uploads. Become a member of my channel and buy my merchandise at wolfjonesbrand.com. But until next time, see ya. Peace.